Hi everyone. How's your tea break just now? Is it okay?
Good.
How's the food?
Nice.
Okay. So now we're going to continue with module 2. So our overall topic is transforming space for vertical grid. So what we're going to do now is something to recap what we learned in module 1. So I will ask a few questions before we start to module 2. So hope you guys remember what we learned this morning. Okay, so list the main point concept of vertical grid. May? See. Space. Aesthetic.
Space.
Yes. One more. Environmental benefit. Okay. So now list another 2 benefit to vertical grid to human.
Air.
Mm-hmm.
Human health.
Okay.
Air.
One more.
Release stress.
Okay. Okay. State one successful vertical grid that you have seen from the previous module. Okay. All right. So for the next module, we're going to talk about gaining environmental benefit, not just for human, but for the environment and also for the animals around us. Okay. So what you will gain during this topic is you will learn how the environmental will be benefit from vertical grid, and then to understanding biodiversity contribution from the vertical grid, and discussion reduction of heat island effect, exploring improvement of air quality. Okay, by learning environmental benefit, so what we can see here, reduce carbon dioxide in the air, improving air quality, reducing noise pollution, promoting biodiversity. So all of you must be, what is all this talk about carbon dioxide, air quality, noise pollution. Okay, we see the images here. So from the images here, you can see that if you have a vertical grid, so it will be absorb the carbon dioxide around 5 to 7 kilo per meter square. So like example that we have for Etika Tower, we have about 1000 meter square of the green wall, vertical grid. So it's about 7 kilogram, 7,000 kilogram carbon dioxide has been absorbed by that green wall itself.
But this one if it's outdoor lah.
Yeah.
Indoor cannot absorb anything.
Can? See?
Whether we have our lights on or
No, we are breathing. So still same. Yeah. So this is the what you call it, 5 to 7 based on the studies, and also is different type of planting also will absorb different quantity of carbon dioxide. So it will not be the same. So example like plant, palm, trees, shrubs, creepers.
it depends on different types of
Yes, it
types
depends.
of plants lah.
Yeah. The one that highest absorb carbon actually is a palm tree.
Palm tree.
Yeah, palm oil trees.
Oh, is it? Palm oil.
Yeah. So
Kelapa sawit.
if you go to palm oil plantation, you will see the environment a bit cooler compared to others. Because they absorb more carbon.
No wonder some people their house they got land they like to plant palm, the red palm
Yeah.
For vertical grid, harder to put a power out here.
And then one more, the one that absorb carbon higher is algae.
Oh, okay.
Algae?
So yeah, algae. So that's why they have studies on doing the algae wall to absorb carbon, because 1 square
What do you mean
meter.
by algae wall?
Algae, the one that naturally cover the wall, so it can absorb 4 times to 5 times higher compared to trees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being done here.
No, it been done in Germany. They have one building, they do the algae wall.
Okay.
So the algae you need like the creepers or what?
They put it inside the tube, something like a vertical tube. So they will have pumping the water going up and down. So that circulate water is having algae inside. So they will absorb the carbon and release the oxygen. So if you have more vertical green, that's why if you see due to Singapore land is quite constrained, so that's why there will be lots of vertical green. So compared to Malaysia only if you have a plot to develop, you only cover for something like 10% of the green area to be a become a green area. So it makes it still quite new for the green wall requirement. Not many authority that enforce it. Different from Singapore, if you have 1 acre land that you want to develop, you need to cover back 1 acre green. Not just on the ground, but on the vertical side.
So no matter how you have to cover back the one.
Yes. So that's how they're bringing back the green area.
But Malaysia not yet.
Malaysia are towards to that, but slowly lah, not so fast. So okay, so they can reduce carbon dioxide in the air and then improve air quality. So from 1 meter square of the vertical green, you can about 3 to 5 oxygen can be released by 1 meter square. It also depends on the plant species and also the area. Okay, by having a vertical green, you can reduce noise pollution. So the noise will be reduction by the green wall is around they have high 75 to 80 dB, then medium 50 to 55, and low. So they have a different noise pollution that they can cover. So that's why if you have a vertical green in front of your house or buildings, inside will be much more quiet compared to.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, my neighbor now doing renovation. We like for our house we have land.
All right.
What I have done is I planted grass. So my neighbor for 5,000 square feet of land, he put all fake grass, you know. Do you think that will help in the environment?
No. Okay. That's why a real plant and artificial plant, artificial is just look for aesthetic, but it doesn't help for environment. Why? Because they have a study regarding the artificial turf. They are one of what they call it, one of a factor that contribute to the urban heat island.
Yeah.
So because it's absorb heat. So it doesn't serve the purpose. If you have a big area, you put artificial green, yes, it's easy for you to maintain and everything. But later, your house much more heat compared to you put the real turf.
And I also feel, correct me if I'm wrong, because fake grass mostly all made from plastic, right?
Yeah.
So under the hot sun, right, I think the chemical.
Yeah, sometimes if you use the cheap one, they can release the harmful chemical. Most not recommended. That's why they have studies on that, not to use artificial grass for
Gardens, right?
yes. Okay. By having a vertical grid, you can promoting biodiversity, where balancing urban ecosystem and bring back fauna and flora to the urban. So when we have plants, vertical, so the birds can come, the bees can come, the insects also can come. So this one will help our environment grow and be more cleaner. Why bees is important in our environment? Because they are the one that pollinate most of the plants. So if we don't have bees in the city centre, so means our environment is quite harmful actually.
I thought bees you must have that kind of flower.
Yeah. So in the vertical you can have a flowering type of plants. So because it's not just a vertical green. Here we say the vertical is you can have maybe every floor, maybe every others different levels. So you can have a different angles of greens. Okay. Understanding biodiversity contribution, we are providing habitats variety for plant species. So it's not just for the animals. And then serving a food source, creating microclimates, facilitating movement. Okay. Why we call it providing habitats variety plant species? Because you can have variety of plants at your vertical green, either your green wall, your terraces planting. So like example like Etika, we see on the first module, they have about 34 species of plants. And Linovel, they have about 248 plant species, only at the tower itself. So rather you can go to the forest, you can go to the building, you see a lot of plants. Okay?
Imagine like go jungle hiking.
Yeah. Okay. By serving food source, what I mean by serving food source, when we have a vertical green, so you are providing what they call it, a food source to the animal surrounding the one that come to the urban center. So like example like my gardens at the balcony. So we have a grasshopper, we have birds coming to our greens area. So this is how we not just greening our space, but we providing them a food to be in the city center. Okay. By having a vertical green, you also creating a microclimates. Why? Because it's cooling down the building itself. So by cooling down the buildings, you are reducing using the aircon conditioning. Because you have lots of trees, and then trees are producing oxygen and then absorb carbon. So and then it also gives you shade during the hot time, and then during the example like because Malaysia don't have any four season, right? So we always have hot or raining season. So by having that, the trees also will absorb the rain. So we can use back the water to irrigate the planting. Okay. Why we call it facilitating the movement for biodiversity contribution? Because when we have a vertical plan, vertical green in our urban city, so if you see here, you can see the movement from inside, or animal can go to the buildings, and then they can move around with other buildings. So it can become a connecting to the animals and insects. So don't be afraid, they are part of the biodiversity. Yeah. Alright. So we're gonna discussing reduction of heat island effect. First is absorbing sunlight and reducing the heat, and then cooling the air through evaporation, providing a shade, and improving thermal insulation. Okay. If you see from this image compared to our urban area, which one is much more cooling and give you better cover of sun?
You can feel one. Like when I stand at my garden all grass, right? When I went to the neighbor's house, now nobody renovation. When I stood there, you can feel the heat.
Yeah,
very effective.
yeah. So if you can do a basic experiment. You walk any side of walkway or driveway. If you walk whichever that have a trees, will be cooler compared to the one that don't have trees, right? So actually it can reduce a few Celsius. Yeah.
That's why there is a saying, right? In overseas, places like cold places like Genting, if you go to those under shade tree, if you sit under the tree, right, the air could be like colder than aircon.
Yes.
Some people say.
Correct. So by having vertical green, it can absorb the sunlight, because our sun also is quite have UV and everything. So this is where we can cool down the area by reducing the heat.
And save a lot of aircon.
Yeah. Okay. Like this one, cooling air through evaporation.
Tapi
So
so
from the
far
plants.
Malaysia, I don't see building with a lot of plants like that. What?
Yeah, they have one in Brazil. They have terraces of forests. Actually, we have one, but not so extensive. If you go to the Park Royal,
Yeah, but
opposite Sungai Wang, so the hotel has revamped the facade, and then they have a small forest inside of the unit.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have a look after this. So it's quite interesting because it gives you a different feel from the outside. You see the facade is different, and also the customer from inside. You will see when you open your windows, or if you see from through your windows, you will see a small forest
Oh, okay.
Well,
opposite.
I've seen like I went to water park,
Mhm.
Wisata City, the new wing.
Mhm.
The escalator, the wall all. Initially when they first launched, the plants all very nice, no?
There's a park city.
Wisata City.
At the mall, yeah. Okay.
The mall kat dalam kan.
Then vertical green, yeah.
The wall all different plants. That was newly launched.
Mhm.
Now if you go right, you see a lot dying already.
Yeah. That's due to the maintenance because
Yeah lah.
when you have a vertical green, you need to also consider maintenance. You need to have covered maintenance because if you just do the maintenance, what do you call it, cincai, so you don't get a good quality one. Yeah.
Fees the cost of maintaining is not cheap.
So and also they have also at the column right at the top.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then all the plants on the wall,
Mhm.
it's not like you say one stretch with the flower pot, no. It's one.
Yeah.
Satu pot. Dia
Yeah.
arrange lah, satu pot.
So that vertical the support is the same one, the one that we do in what do you call it, the Etika Tower. Is using the pot system. So by having the pot system, you need to very carefully with your irrigation pipe, your type of species, the soil condition, because for Etika Tower we are not using the typical quantity of soil. We make it different because they have a weight distribution that we need to cater for this building. So that's why we make it lesser. So previously normally they will use 60% of soil and 40% is lightweight media. So we doing opposite, only 40% of soil and 60% of lightweight media. So we become lighter.
Well, I think maintenance is quite high because if
Yeah,
you go
that's
to
why.
one U the rooftop, they supposed to have a farm.
Mm-hmm.
Tapi now if you go up and see again, right, the farm is really half dead already.
Yeah. That's why maintenance is important. So if you want to have green, you need to consider the maintenance. But it will be long run things. Okay. Sorry, you saw the cooling air. Okay, because why we say cooling air? Because it absorbs carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So by releasing oxygen, it will cool down your building actually. And then it's reducing that you're using aircon for daytime. Okay, providing shade. So when we have lots of vertical greens, trees and others, so people are using the building also can have covered from the sunlight. So it's not just for the buildings but for the people also. And then improving thermal insulation. Okay, if you see here there's a lot of green, this is just images. So if we have something like this, you will use less air condition compared to the one that just having glass all the way. So,
Oh, that one very nice.
so you see here, this is all
There was
glass.
no window in the office.
Then this one we have greens. So you will look more comfortable compared to the glass one.
No, but that one, if let's say it's office, right, where the window always lah.
The way is in between. You can also use the same one, the Lenovo type.
Oh, the
With
inside lah.
papers, yes. So not just use the bucket system. Alright, so we're going to go for exploring improvement of air quality, where filtering particle matters, absorbing pollution, increasing humidity, and absorbing volatile organic compound. Okay, by having a vertical green, the plant itself will absorb a particle matter, so it means pollution and everything, they will absorb and convert it to the oxygen and also the soil condition. So it's not just about the aesthetic of the building, the aesthetic of the area, but it also function as a filter to our environment. Okay, if you see here like this, just imagine you have a lot of highway cars and you don't have greens like at the back here. So you can see the difference between the back with the front, then they have a lot of vertical greens. So in front you will see hotter compared to the one that in front. So that's why important of the green, vertical green in our city actually to absorb the pollution, because we have lots of traffic cars in the city center, not just cars, bus, lorry. So all that contribute to carbon dioxide in our environment.
What about the four-season country? They cannot have this kind of wind.
Yeah, they can.
Huh? Four-season country?
Yeah.
The one that got winter all.
Yeah.
Can?
Can. But okay, that's why type of planting is most important. They will not have all the way greens. Some will be something like just branches. Only for winter one. Yeah. Others will go back. Yeah.
So
And then
why do the temperature fall by electricity? If you do the whole city up, can we have much cooler city? I remember my grandfather used to say when they were in Ampang in the 1950s, it's so cool, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Especially
5 degrees hotter.
Now I feel the weather when it's hot, it's really like oven. Last time.
have you tried walking in the Singapore city centre? With all the tall buildings, with the green vertical buildings.
Macam cooling lah.
Cooling, right? It's compared to the one that we walk in the KCC,
Correct.
Singapore is very hot.
Somehow Singapore you don't feel the heat.
Yeah, that's why. That's the reason why they implement the. You need to cover back your acreage with the greens and the buildings. So it's not just cover for the greens at the ground floor, for the whole buildings, for the terraces. So example like you have 30 or 2 acres land that you acquire for develop the buildings. So you need to replace 2 acres green. So example, maybe your floor terraces only can cover only 1 acres. So you need to cover the balance at the wall.
Wow, okay.
So that's why now they are strictly implement it in Singapore. New development, you see they can cover balik dengan greens. So Malaysia want to reduce it some more.
Okay.
So that's why we are fighting. Ilam also is fighting to make it the green much more bigger compared to Singapore.
You know,
We
our
should,
country some more, so many
a lot of
types
land.
of plants and jungle, right?
So because it's not just actually it's bring your fortune also to your buildings because when you have greens, it's an example, you go to Changi Airport, how many people are going there? Right. If just a simple dome, nothing greens, people will not
That
go.
day the famous that air itu apa tu NASA punya apa tu Sheikh Mohammed came out in TikTok, right? He purposely make one day trip, took the train, took the bus to bring his 6 children to go to Changi Airport just to see.
Yeah. So
It's very nice.
Atas awan.
I really like Changi Airport because it's like entering another jungle. No?
this concept of having jungle, yeah, they implement it in a really
It's really
modern life.
worth it.
Yeah. So now we go to the next one, where it increase the humidity. So it's not just increase the absorb the pollution, but increase the humidity. So that's why when we have lots of vertical greens space, it's more humid compared to we don't have any plants or any greens. So like our KL Kuala Lumpur, if you go to center, it's too hot for you to walk compared you to walk in the side in the city of Singapore. So it's much more cooler. So this is the reason because by having a vertical plant, vertical greens, it can increase your humidity. Alright. So absorbing volatile organic compounds. Okay, it's not just about the carbon dioxide being released by the car, but sometimes they have factories and everything. They release some gases on the air. So by having this vertical green, they can absorb because different type of plants they can absorb different types of pollution. So others can absorb green, like example carbon dioxide. Others can absorb magnesium. Others can absorb sulfur. So that's why why we have a vertical green, we need to have a variety of plants because the character itself is absorb a different kind of materials and compound.
It also reduce the need to paint buildings.
Pardon?
Will it reduce the need to charge for paint buildings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you just need to have, example, like if you have a vertical green, you just have what do you call it, waterproof at the back.
Okay.
Yeah, because just to protect the building. And and then the vertical green itself will protect you from the rain.
Because one of the main sources of VOC in around the building is from the paint. Because all the what they call the waterproof paint, a lot of VOCs.
Yeah. So because it's exposed to the sunlight. So when your waterproofing is covered with other things in front, it will last longer compared to the one that exposed. So, any other question?
How many more buildings in KL are you going to start this? I mean, just imagine Etika. Are they ready?
Etika Tower is in Jalan Bangsa.
Yeah, sorry.
If you can see, if you drive through Jalan Bangsa, if you from Kuala Lumpur, before you reach Melari KL, if you look to the right, you will see the buildings.
Our Merdeka Tower, did they implement?
They have it inside.
Inside?
Yeah, they have it inside in the interior. Yeah.
Okay.
So others, most building are having it inside, not
outside.
not what do you call it, not much having outside. Etika Tower we have, and then Lenovo, and then in Penang they have what do you call it, the insect museum.
Oh, insect. Okay.
So the whole building is covered by the green wall. So they have types of green wall, different types. The one will be discussed in the next module.
Okay.
Because we have a bucket system, we have a cloth system, so particularly can have also potted plants, can have a planter box.
Okay.
So it differs from what you want, what design that you want, and what is the cost. So it depends. Okay. So question and answer. Martin, can you list 3 benefits of vertical green to the environment?
It reduces carbon dioxide
Alright.
pollution and reduce noise pollution, as well as promoting biodiversity.
Okay. Promoting biodiversity is list number 2. Absorb carbon dioxide, release oxygen, and absorb pollution. Okay. So at least 2 the biodiversity contribution to vertical green. You want to answer? Just now we discussed about how plants can be inside this center, how many, and then how animal can go to one place.
Facilitating movement.
Yeah, okay. Another one.
Another one would be
Supply food for the animals.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But they also can create havoc also.
Yes.
Snake will come then the cockroaches
What
They have a plant that cockroaches don't like. Yeah.
Oh.
Even mosquitoes.
One of my greatest issue that time, because I was at the complex moving to a new building in TRX, it was the first one in TRX, I think you know which one it is. They're thinking of doing this, but then they actually scrapped the idea because they felt it was too new. And then the ladies complained, they said, actually I think you bring all the animals in, you talk about nice birds, birds also
shit no.
who told you?
That's the one that I facing when we design TRX, because I also involved in TRX project, but not on the roof garden and also the ground floor. Our part is more to vertical green area.
Yes.
So the external part and the market lane. So where we have a few potted plant, they have the long way, and then they have some middle way. So the concept is more like evergreen. So they have some tall plants, papers going down. So the client also highlight how we're gonna, because this is the market lane will be the F&B area. So the queries is about how we can get rid the animals from going out to the green wall. So we suggest to use something like electric what do you call it?
Electric fence.
Not electric fence. It's something like giving sound that the animal don't like to go out. By using the sound
wave. Okay.
Sound wave.
Okay.
So, but yeah lah, because normally animal will go there if they have food.
Yes.
Example like why in the mall sometimes they have potters and everything, right? Why they have rats and everything there?
Yeah, lor.
Cockroach. Because people are like to throw food
Yes, right.
inside the
People
planter.
eat lah.
Sometimes they wash hand also there.
Then after they make
So-
their sarong in the
Yeah, so-
vertical
Yeah.
So that's why we are not allowed people or throwing foods inside the pockets. Because this will be encouraged the animal to come. Not a good animal, a bad animal.
Right.
Rats and everything. So that's why for our vertical green we said, as long as there is no food on top, the rats will not go out. Yeah.
Since you're talking about this, what
It's not just rat, it's also crow. Sometimes they also
Crow, yes.
yeah.
like
they
my
go-
neighbor has a lot of palm tree, right?
Mhm.
At night, a lot of bats will be hanging there.
Bats.
You know, bats
Lava.
lava,
Mhm.
right? So the bats on, because night time, that's why I want to ask you for a solution.
Mhm.
Every morning when my car park will have a lot of, I think the
That was
the
terrible.
poo of the bat, you know.
That was important.
Yeah, how to get rid of that? How to prevent them from coming to my house and poop?
Okay, that's a good question. Because
Come on. Could be.
it can be here also. Because when you have a plant, but
They say got palm tree, you also
now
can hear.
now maybe people are not finding it yet because
Yeah.
they are not coming to the city
Yeah.
center. Because bat normally they will not like a noisy place.
Yes.
So it might be a quiet place. So that's why they like the
No,
trees.
they come at night.
Yeah,
Right.
and they're also a good pollinator. So normally bat, if you have bat in the kampung area village, so where you have a farm, fruit farms, it's good to have bat because they will help you to do pollinate from trees to trees. So but in the city center, I don't know, maybe they have a fruit trees nearby, so that's why they like to have a bit in the city center. Yeah, because if you don't have any fruit trees, they will not come normally.
How to get rid of them from coming to my house?
Noise and light.
So you need to use a noise,
Or light, heat.
noise lah, only noise.
My one, my house, they came to my house, but the fruit tree is like across in the padang. So they take the tree from there, then they come and makan. It's still hanging out.
Can you see their poop on the floor?
My car, so
How do you solve the problem?
just for make sure they don't come. That's like that.
Like example like we see about the plant, fruit plants, because I have one of my old projects. So the client said, okay, I want the fruit trees in my development because I want people they want, but not all fruit trees. They want cherries. Cherries tu.
Aiyo.
So I like cherries. Okay. And comes when they plant it, when they grow maturely, and then lots of birds are coming. Because we have berries, so we have berries, we have birds. So whoever park below the cherry trees, so where the pollution is getting down. But this you need to consider when you choose a fruit trees, you need to be away from parking space
Yeah.
and also people are walking area. So normally when we do design, whichever that to have a fruit, we will put it at the back and then where there is no parking. Because at the parking area we use something like just normal greens or just a simple flowers and not so excessive fruits. Because we go back to us. So that's why in the authority side, MBSA are implementing 50% fruit trees. If you submit a new proposal, 50% of the ground planting need to be fruit trees.
Okay.
Oh.
So when you go to submit, they will ask you lah. Okay, because when you came here, you can see LRT ongoing, right? So they also one of my projects. So I cover about seven or eight stations here. So we need to submit to MSA. You just imagine LRT station to have a fruit trees.
Okay, because I know this example in Singapore is really because on their highways they actually planted, there's a lot of plant trees, and they
Yes.
planted a lot of mango trees.
Yeah.
So there's a time when they had a
Mango.
huge crop, all jumped out of the trail, so they're almost bleeding up the road.
Yeah, okay. That's why this one also we need to educate the public because when it comes to the fruit trees, you need to remind the public to take care of the trees and to pluck the fruits when it comes to this season. Okay, you just imagine at the LRT station we have sukun, we have langsat, we have mangoes. Yeah, we have durian at the if you go to station Petronas at the back here, Petronas and Shell, they have one station there. So at that particular area, MSA request durian trees.
Wow.
The day I saw one TikTok in I don't know London or anywhere overseas, not Malaysia. You know their housing estate, right? They plant lemon tree, lemon tree, a lot lemon, and they have particular season where the truck will come. The truck will put the thing around the lemon tree and then press the button.
Yeah, we take all
All the fruits will drop. Then they will put up to the. It's like
Yeah.
the fruits belongs to the government.
So,
I find it like
It seems like the one that they do in Korea. If you have you been to Korea before? Seoul. So in the what they call it, in the median of the road, they plant a passion fruit trees. Okay. The government initiative is something like it also can give to the homeless people. So it can become a food for them. So when we do design in our vertical greens or any landscape design, we need to consider that also. Sometimes why we put it fruit trees, because it can be used for not just homeless, anyone can also have you.
So you cover instead of the ESG, you cover E, because it's green, then the S is not for social.
Yeah.
It's just E and S as well.
Energy governance.
Governance, yes.
Then no,
Because,
good, you talk about sustainability.
So by having a vertical green, not just for the aesthetic,
Yes.
you can also plant your kitchen garden, your house gardens. So because you have the space, you have the area. Why we call it vertical green? So even though you don't have a balcony, you can just have inside. You can have a vertical wall. So from there you can cover some pandan, some chilies inside a small pot. I do that in my house.
Okay.
So just have a small pot. I have my pandan, I have my serai, I have my curry. Yeah, I have my passion fruit also. Previously I plant kacang panjang.
Oh, that one.
Balcony,
Yeah, in the balcony. So until the time that I don't know what to do because it's a lot, I give to neighbor. So
On your balcony also.
on my balcony. So now I change plant already. Yeah. So it's interesting to have a vertical greens. It's not just for the aesthetic of the buildings, but it's also for use of our daily life. Yeah, we see here, for example, like this one, we say that providing food, right? Yeah, to serve food. So I also have my seed bank, but not so much like small over there. I have plant and I save the seed for the next harvest. So it's a good thing to have in the house.
I mean, give an example of Africa when you talk about the soil mix. You say it was instead of 60-40, it became 40-60. So how do you actually water the plants to make sure it's enough nutrients for the plant?
They will have a pipe system, irrigation pipe system. So each pot they will have one noodle going in, noodle pipe.
Okay.
So example like 1,000 meter square, they will have about 75 panels of the what they call it, because we calculate by panels.
Okay.
So when the irrigation is turned on, they will irrigate from top panels and then we irrigate from the bottom. So we have all panel we get around 1 to 2 minutes water for mornings and also for nights. And we also install the rain sensor. Example like morning is rain, so they will not turn on the water.
Oh, that's good that I say.
Yeah, because we need to save water.
Yeah.
Because our irrigation are using rainwater harvesting tank.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So that's why we need to make it very clearly and very efficient. The tank itself can cover for 4 days. So example like in KL they have a problem with water source.
Yes, right.
So we can still have a 4 days
Okay.
coverage to irrigate our green wall and vertical greens.
That's from rainwater harvesting.
Yeah, yeah. So actually this is one of the requirement from BKL. So when you have a planting area, you need to get water from your rainwater harvesting tank.
Okay.
So to cover for 4 days. So that's why when we do design, we will calculate all the trees. What is the requirement for all trees water voltage? Then we will inform to the engineer. Okay, example like we need about 40 gallons per day. So I want your tank to cover for 4 days. It's about 160 gallons. So normally engineer will allow extra lah.
Extra.
Yeah.
So this is a new requirement.
Yeah. So quite interesting because some authority have different requirement. Ada some lah, you just do lah whatever you want.
Here is not that
Yeah.
strict
Yes.
yet, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's also
Yeah.
making.
So that's why you can see, oh here have greens, other they don't have greens.
Why do they make it a law? Like that's why end of the day, like the building where I moved to, that, or they were moving to, they actually came back the question: is it required by DBKL? Answer is no. So forget it. Go wait. Let's not waste our time.
That's why because sometimes some people just understand that the vertical green is just for the aesthetic. It doesn't serve the purpose of the people are living in there.
Yes.
And also for the environment itself. So this is where our topic is to educate people the importance of vertical greens. It's not just to beautify your buildings, to bring up the sales for your buildings, but also to give you much more better environment in terms of pollution reduction, more oxygen, less carbon dioxide in the place. So and then give also place for the flora and fauna. So that's the reason why I come up with this topic.
I think for the government to encourage people to do this, right? Maybe the government should consider giving grant to any company, be it a shop lot or what, right? If you have a certain percentage of your space area, you have plants, then the government they can give grant lah. Let's say how much.
So maybe you can propose that.
Or reduce the cukai tanah. Let's say
Hijau ni ada Kementerian Hijau.
You should encourage, right?
That's important.
Very important.
As I say, if it's not in the law or not in the system to encourage, they won't do. Even the big MNCs, sometimes will say that, look,
Even in Malaysia also we have difficulty with others apa namanya engagement. They are more to the development side. So I cannot mention the name.
Yeah.
So they are the one that trying to reduce our green area in the new development area. Because 10% from your area is too small.
Yes.
It cannot even cover the pollution that we do. So that's why like example MBBJ, if you don't have enough requirement for the 10%, you need to cover another 14% on the buildings, either on the terraces or the
You
wall.
see, government is very important. Like Sabah, it's a mandatory requirement for any developer to build houses, that you must put a recycle tank on top. So that's why you go to Sabah, right? Every house that you see, the top of the house, the roof, or the side of the house, they will have a water tank that collects rainwater. It's a mandatory by the MP. I mean, the mayor or
So that's why all this is the importance need to come from our government.
Yeah.
So the government initiative, the rules and regulation. So when we have example like Singapore, they implement it. So you take 1 acre land, then you need to replace it with 1 acre greens. So this is just a simple instruction that how we going to do that is your problem. As long as I can get back my 1 acre greens. So that's what they do in Singapore. So
Here, not serious like here, for example, at the
change meal, change
no, they're not serious one.
uh,
Like my neighbor chop off 2 trees, right? Chop, big nice tree, chop off. Then of course I make a complaint to DBKL. You know what DBKL told me? Tak apa lah, dia potong sudah potong, kita tak payah potong lah.
The neighbors one thing, at least it's property. We talk about my
No,
area.
both sides.
Oh,
DBKL.
but still, they're making the road at my side. I mean, I've been living in the estate. Well, the estate around for 30 years. I used to drive around there and cycle there. The angsana tree of angsana, besar tau.
okay.
Then they got the contractor to widen the road tengah half a lane. They chopped out all the trees. My 12 trees are all down. I was like, wow. Like, just to widen. And nobody really uses it. It's a bad place.
This is happening in I think it's I don't know it's out because you still relate to the vertical greens because vertical greens not just cover everything out.
Yeah.
So
On
that's
the
why
ground,
we
yeah.
show from the water part. So why is important? Why? Because example like if you see the big trees in Kuala Lumpur, some of it has already been planted for more than 100 years.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when they plant, there is no road.
That's right.
So when you widen the road, you
Yeah.
just cut it
Yeah.
the roots without even taking care of the roots properly.
Okay.
So if like human lah,
Ah.
if you chop 2-3 jari ya, sakit lah. Then you chop almost of your kaki ya.
Yeah,
Can you balance
Ah,
yourself?
yeah.
Cannot, right?
Okay.
So it's same thing. So same to the trees, they are living things. So if you see the trees, you can know where the roots is.
Yes.
So at the end of the branches, that's the end of the roots.
Yes.
And some trees are double from that size.
Okay.
So that's why when they're widening the roads, they just simply cut without taking care of that, and then put cement on top. So they cannot breathe because the roots also need to be breathed,
Yeah.
to be oxygen, and then to have waters. So later on, the plant will die. So that's why this happened in front of our office. I was late only 1 minute
Oh.
to turn. If you see, I think before the MCO, they have one big trees in front of the Bagu Letak.
Okay.
And it kills one person. And that person just married, and what I say is when the trees falling down, it just hit it directly, it cannot break. So it's died in the spot. So I just late 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
So I fast 1 minute, I also will be involved in that. Because I use that road to turn around. So yeah, when they study why the trees is collapsing, because when they do the road widening, they cut off the roots. Almost half of the roots has gone.
Okay.
And then there's cement on the top just to allow for pedestrian. So they have no space for the trees to have aeration on the roots and also water to come in. And then later it became, they call it a brown effect roots. So where the roots are not healthy, and yes, and become sick, later they will falling down. Yeah, so that's happened lots in Kuala Lumpur now. And the trees itself is more than 100 years. So that's why we are not appreciating that thing until it's gone. And if you remember between what do you call it, Great Eastern Mall and the new tower before the soup.
That was long time ago.
Before this, sorry, there's an SQVE. Not SQVE, there's SPE. Then SPE. Before that, they have one big tree, very nice trees. I have that picture. So they just simply chop it down just to allow for the highways. Yeah. So we are more or less big trees in teaching center. Same also our vertical greens. So that's why we want to recommend people to start thinking about vertical greens.
But then if the company has really got a building there lah, assuming the government suddenly say, okay, I want all the buildings to do something to this
Okay.
existing building already there. Is there any way to make it into like this? Not by putting all the skip or
Yeah. Another structure lah. If you don't want to disturb the existing structure, you can plant it another structure in front. Okay. Why vertical green is important? Because it also can be parked under the ESG report. Because most of the example like the vertical greens, the bucket itself is made from the recycled plastic.
Okay.
So that's considered one point for you to get in your reports. And then even the cloth that you're using for the vertical green, also using the recycled material. And then it can also park under the water management,
Yes.
where you harvest your water and then using back to your green wall, to the vertical greens. So there's some point that we call it under ESG. They call it under projects. So when you do a ESG report, it's under the projects. You can have maybe one building can have a few projects.
Right.
So like example, water management, power management, apa namanya, waste management, lepas tu how you contribute to the environment. So all that have some points. So I've been to the class for P5 framework for GPM. So I also know about the ESG report. Because now when you have a ESG report, example like this building, you have a ESG report, you can apply for the grant and for the investor.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Right. Right, mate? That's why in Bursa Saham, why suddenly have a ESG requirement?
That's why I say this one very good because
Yeah.
if I keep talk on let's say corporate governance like that way, right? Corporate governance, I mean, is part of ESG. You know, last time when you talk about CG, they have a lot of things inside, the social environment. So today's this session actually give me some, ideas, right? In future, maybe we all can do something.
Yeah.
It's very good because you can talk more about environment, and then I can talk more about governance. So we can combine sustainability.
Like example, this buildings, right? Okay. If this building can cover carbon saturation more than the building itself contribute to the carbon, so they can sell the carbon credit.
Yes.
Cuma dekat Malaysia don't have lagi lah.
Macam mana they sell?
voluntary
I'm
market.
very curious.
Okay,
How they sell?
this is just example, rough, just to understanding about the carbon credit. Example like this building, okay, you only use carbon, you only produce carbon for the building maybe around 1,000 meter square or 1,000 kilogram. But the building itself can filter and make it carbon saturation about 7,000 kilograms. So
who can do all these certifications?
they have a calculation because different country different kind of calculation. So actually, how Elon Musk get rich by carbon credit?
Actually, another big coin,
This one in the European countries,
So,
they got it all
yeah.
exactly.
So example, that's why how they manage to sell the carbon is example like this one, they just use 1,000 kilogram carbon, but they can filter about 7,000. So you have 6,000 extra. So example, at your neighborhood, they have another factory. The factory only allowed to release carbon maybe around 2,000 carbon, but they release more than that. Example, they release maybe 7,000, so they can buy another 6,000 from this building, and that money can do the maintenance.
They can buy, maybe it's like more like trading really.
Yeah, this trading, this is carbon trading.
Interesting, no?
It's well established in Europe
So
and partly in the US.
yeah,
Australia too. Australia.
it's a new thing again lah in Malaysia because we are not still implementing.
But I think ultimately we need the regulations and the laws.
Correct.
Yeah.
correct.
Or else you won't move because
That's why now they have. I think they have a group in Indonesia that they're studying about it. The carbon situation, the carbon filter, and everything. So how they're going to make it into the data. Once you have the data, then you can sell the data. Basically. So that's why ESG are important. So Malaysia need to catch up. We only left 1 year to submit ESG to the United Nations.
yes.
Next year, you're right, need to submit. Bank negara need to submit to United Nations. The ESG report.
Right, yeah.
Malaysia failed to submit in 2020 though.
Yes, yes. They're
Ah.
chasing all the advice.
So that's why all the big company submitting all the ESG report. But when you see this is not ESG.
They want the guidelines.
Yeah, if you go to the classes, GPM class, it's a green project management. If you know about the PMP, PMP is project management professional, right? So the GPM is actually the one that more green initiative and is recognized by United Nations. Why? Because it's more sustainable. That's why they have a P5 framework. So it's not just your company itself need to be ESG compliance. Even your guard, your supplier also need to comply. If you are not comply, only you comply. Your guide is getting the job by bribery. It's not considered ESG already.
Not
Your
proper governance.
not proper governance. And then your supplier supplying a cheap material not for the standard, also not complying. Even though your company are complying with this ESG, when it comes to holistic, you fail already. So that's why you go to the class, because I have been to the class for 5 days, and it's blown my mind lah. Because there's a lot of things that me as a landscape architect miss out the things that this is our job, and this is we need to educate people. So this is one of the small steps we want to introduce something like to give back to the environment, but in the same things we will get the ESG can done ESG report from it.
No surprise next time, every car, right? Oh, we got sunroof, right? Or we got roof, right? They ask all the cars because to save the environment and the earth, right? All our cars on the top of the cabin country.
They have a bus stop doing that.
That's not so easy. If you go to 120, jump fly off, behind the
So
Or bus.
nowadays they have
Train.
now solar panel also keep evolving lah. So you know, if you see the new one, the glass itself can become a solar panel.
Yes.
So my neighbor, they just proposed to me, she get somebody to fix the solar panels for her for about 40,000. And then she said, every month now her electricity bill is zero because she collected the electricity, electricity from the solar, and she give back to the nugget.
Yeah.
So because the nuggets
They have grant for that.
then that's why she got no bill. So she kept telling me, please do it. But I think the cost 40,000.
Okay, they have that grant also they have a few grants because if that grant finish, they will come up with the new grants, different types of grants. Because the one that we asked, because previously we also asked for our buildings. They have some grants that we need to pay around 30%. Ada grants yang tak pay langsung, it's totally free. You just allow them to install, but the bills yang you dapat tu lebih sikit lah compared to yang the one you bayar tu lagi banyak lah dia akan contribute.
Tapi dia cakap lepas 10 tahun kan, PMB won't deal with you anymore. Whatever you collect is yours already. That means you tak payah pay bill anymore. That means your house, there's a box there lah. The electricity that you collected from the solar is only meant for you already. You don't need to deal with us.
But you need to install the battery.
Yes.
The battery is the one that high maintenance and expensive. The solar panels is cheap. That's the reason why they want to give you only 10 years. So after 10 years, you install your battery lah.
Habis dia nak one more time dia gasak lah.
Battery jaga lah. Boleh bakar punya.
Because like solar panel, they will you need to maintain it, you need to clean it up on top. So that's why if you have on top of the building, it's just to cover the electricity lah. But to cooling down the buildings, you need to have a plant. Any other question before we go for the lunch break?
Good, very good info. I'll do more planting now.
Very helpful.
Okay. So the conclusion before we go for lunch, today the world must recognize the importance of vertical green in the city for its impact and significance in our life. The environment take a drastic change, renewing and rejuvenating life with nature's creation. So we must harness the attitude of gratitude for organic living. So it means we are now using the next generation, what they call it, green areas. So how we can keep back by having the vertical greens. So you can have a reference with these 3 books. You can DIY your vertical greens by HRDF, and the vertical greens, Patrick Blanc, this is considered other modern greenhouse system. So he used to come to Malaysia a lot.
Still alive?
Yeah, still alive. we tried to get him for our talk session later. And then planting green roof and living wall. So if you see here, this is actually on top of the building, this is on top of the guardhouse. So they have a lot of things you can design in the vertical greens. So the next module will discuss more about types of the green wall, vertical greens, and how you can the design by yourself. Yes.
Which one is the best for beginners wanting to learn about vertical?
DIY vertical. Yeah, because this is considered basic. If you want more plantings, you can get from Patrick Plants. This one first, second, this is the third one. Because this is quite heavy, the books.
It looks heavy, sexy.
Yeah. And if you search Google online, Patrick Plants, if you go to the website, his office is actually on top of the water feature. So the floor is glass. You can see fish running around, and then almost all the wall are using vertical greens. So some of the plants are taking from Malaysia, Indonesia. So they plant it in their.
You talk to China man, right? He said bad China man sure cannot.
Alright. So please complete the assignment 2 before leaving for lunch break.
Okay.
Alright. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.